I use many different media in my work, although I often gravitate towards acrylic paint for many of the steps that make up my creative process. In this body of work, I have created pieces to represent my own narrative on gender roles, themes of general equality related issues, COVID-19, LGBTQ+ topics, and the Black Lives Matter movement. My goal through my work is to reach people who face scrutiny based on these numerous social issues. I want to influence others, whether they agree with my political views or not. I'd hope that my work would strike up a dialogue that leads viewers to understand and see the world the same way I do. I want to bring light to groups of people who feel their society is against them based on their identity. My artistic purpose in this series is to illustrate hope as we face many difficulties in the world we live in today.
Hey everyone, my name is Reed Schubert, and this is me as an artist. I've always gained inspiration from animals, and to be honest, they're probably the thing that I connect most with. Having a job at the park as an animal rehabilitation worker allowed me to pursue this passion for the last 3 years, and to be honest, it's probably had the most impact on me throughout my time in high school. As you'll see in my work, my main subject matter is giving personification to animals. After working with them long enough, their personalities really start to show through, and I'll start to notice their behavior and the little quirks that they do. I wanted to give a voice to that feeling, and art was the perfect way to express that. I wanted to show how I viewed these different animals and the type of person they would be if they were human. I also work primarily in black and white, with emphasis on positive and negative space. As you'll see, a lot of my style is inspired by artists such as Banksy or Andy Warhol, and even some of Shepard Fairey's earlier work. If you guys have any questions or concerns, or you just want to see some of my other work, feel free to look me up on Insta at Reed Schubart.
Hi, I'm Addison Wongkamp, and this is my 15-piece portfolio. My process always starts very messy like this, which helps me get over the procrastination of a blank page. From there, I'm able to get into a flow of adding and subtracting until I get values that form an image that I'm satisfied with. This way of working is very fun for me and feels natural. However, it can get very messy and frustrating at times too. Most of my work is about spatial comfort and how my surroundings make me feel. I have fun creating narratives to my work because a lot of my drawings are of places or people, which are the beginning of most stories. This makes it fun to expand on, and it's fun to think about whose perspective the drawing is from and what they are looking and thinking about. I plan on going to lacrosse in the fall. I don't know what I'm going to study yet, but I hope to always keep art in my life, and it will always be a soothing practice for me.
All right, hi, my name is Leilani White Johnson, and my entire art series was about my own journey of self-discovery and how I dealt with discovering my own self-worth. It was a really interesting series to do because I got to watch myself grow throughout the entire process. I was able to realize where I was and continue progressing and doing things I've never done before. So I hope you guys all enjoy that. As far as my plans for the future, I am definitely going to be looking into aerospace engineering, although that has nothing to do with art. And hopefully I'll become an astronaut through that. But we'll see.
My name is Abby Bittner. I am planning on attending the University of Minnesota in the fall. My early influences at a young age would be Leonardo da Vinci and Frida Kahlo. In my series of work, I'm taking a look and delving into my experience being Asian American and on top of that being adopted. In my work, you can see just the feelings of confusion at how our country treats minorities, alienation and dehumanization of Asian Americans, the generational trauma that immigration left on many Asian American families, my changing relationship with my parents as my own identity forms, and finally the deterioration thoughts that I had due to some struggles.
Hi, I'm Madison. This fall, I will be attending the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. I began creating out of necessity. I was creative and involved in art classes throughout middle school, but then I was fully enveloped in running. In 7th grade, this person I was began to crumble. An aching hip after a run one March night led to 2 years of physical therapy and 2 hip surgeries. After each surgery, the pain came back. This process wasn't just physically painful, it was incredibly emotionally challenging, and it pushed me to try a lot of new things, and it threw me into art. Eventually, this led to the final diagnosis of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a chronic pain disorder due to generalized joint hypermobility. I needed to be able to deal with these feelings. The deep frustration I have with my body, the anger that I will never have the dependable body I once did, the deep emptiness I have because no one seems to understand. Art became the coping method. Maybe people will understand me better because of what I create, but mostly I'm able to be at ease with myself and my body.
I'm Alexandra Heller, and this is my 15-piece portfolio. This series is about exploring how feeling displaced, removed, and even uncomfortable can impact my emotions as well as the way I perceive certain situations. Blocks can be physically broken up with many sides, just like many events that occurred in my life. Since I was young, my mom would take me to art shows. I've known since then that I always wanted to be able to view and create art throughout the rest of my life. In the fall, I plan to attend the University of North Dakota to major in commercial aviation, and even though this isn't an art major, I continue to plan and make art regularly. Here's a video of me creating a ceramics piece that ended up inspiring me for one of my pieces in my final series.
My name is Sophie Lipscomb, and I'm an 18-year-old artist. I'll be attending Columbia College in Chicago in the fall of 2021 for fashion design.
I create art to highlight my anxiety and how lonely it can make me feel. I create this art with the intent to understand my emotions better in order to take hold of this anxiety. I get my ideas for each piece by first creating a vibrant surface. I pay attention to texture, color, and layers while creating these surfaces. Once I feel that I can begin to understand what this piece is about, I will write lists about what each piece reminds me of so far, in hopes of discovering my focal point. From there, I try to brainstorm how I can communicate these ideas through imagery. Making this type of art has been very important to me. It feels as if I have grown with my art, and it makes me incredibly proud. Because of this, I imagine that art will continue to play a large role in my future. Check me out on Instagram at soflips.jpg.
Hi, my name is Becca Dalton, and in the fall I'll be attending Kansas City Art Institute. After college, I want to work as an illustrator or maybe even have my own private studio. My early influences include Banksy, Gerald Scarfe, Terry Gilliam, and many others. The series of work I am showing you is a response to various social issues that I feel strongly about. The issues I focused on include the influence of the media on people's way of thinking, climate change, harassment of women, mental health, our broken justice system, and American healthcare.
Hi, my name is Grace Biebel, and this is my APR portfolio. In the fall, I'll be attending the University of Michigan to major in art and design. After that, I hope to get a job in the art field. I'm not sure what that'll be yet, but at the moment, I'm interested in cartoon storyboarding or working in the art restoration department at a museum. This series is largely about self-expression and articulating my personal thoughts and experiences. When making this portfolio, my goal is to create a cohesive body of work that shows range and variety. My work is influenced by a lot of different media. One thing that I take a lot of inspiration from is 90s cartoons like The Simpsons. My art is also heavily inspired by music and artists I listen to like The Cure and Gerard Way. Anyways, that was my portfolio. Thanks for listening.
Hi, my name is Charlie Bach. Come fall, I'm going to UWM and declaring a meta major in arts, humanities, communication, and design. When it comes to my art, my earliest influences are primarily anime and video games. Seeing such fantastical characters and stories, each executed through a variety of styles, was what inspired me to try the same. I generally prefer portraiture and drawing or designing people or characters. This makes up most of my series. I used primarily markers, pens, and colored pencils, with some digital. Overall, my series is more so a stream of consciousness than a single focused message. With these pieces, I aim to pick up my own subconscious and examine it a bit, finding meaning in them after the work is done. There's themes of loneliness, languishing, and confusion, but there's also macabre glamour and tongue-in-cheek humor. At times, I'm not sure what it all means, but I think I prefer it that way. I hope other people can find their own unique meaning in it too. I'm not positively pursuing art as a full-time career, but I do know that I'll take art with me into any career or life path I follow and inject it into my everyday life. For now, I'll just see which way the wind takes me, I suppose.
Hi, I'm Sylvie, and this is my AP Studio work, Investigating Divine Femininity. In my work, I explore my understanding of divine femininity through images. By creating imagery of the female figure and elements of nature such as flora and the moon, I attempt to convey my understanding and continuing search of the topic. I work in layers, often beginning with a painted background, then adding pattern, texture, and figures. My media of choice are watercolor, oil pastel, colored pencil, light gesso, and pen. When going about creating, I draw inspiration from other cultures and time periods. I aim for a dreamy, distant feeling of freedom, joy, love, and femininity in my exploration of its divine meaning as it pertains to me and all other feminine beings. I will be attending UW Eau Claire this fall, studying history, but I don't plan on giving up on art anytime soon.
Once you've begun.
I want to be stereotyped. I want to be classified.
Hey, my name's Clay St. John and I'm a digital artist. I like to create a lot of my work in Photoshop and I have a heavy focus on bold color and line work. I like to make my art look pretty fun and that's the way that I do it. I like to incorporate a lot of humor in my art. I've always loved television and movies and humor in general, so I try to express a lot of humor in my art, whether it be through references in media, like my piece Goofy Troop, which references a Disney TV show Goof Troop, as well as a song lyric by JPEG Mafia, or just through the weirdness of it, like Wang the Long Face or Fly Away. It creates art to have fun, and with the sense of humor I put into it, I hope it makes people laugh. After high school, I plan on attending UW Milwaukee for civil engineering, but I'll try to stay making art in my spare time as it's something I love. I might end up making prints or stickers or shirts out of my art as well, just to keep letting my creative side grow. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, it's SlimyBoyArt, and my business email is slimyboyart@gmail.com. Thanks.
I want to be stereotyped. I want to be classified.
Hi, I'm Henry, and this is a little bit about my art. In terms of my inspirations, my childhood and the things that I liked as a kid, like early 2000 TV shows and video games, all deeply influence the art I create, and I think you can easily see those styles in it. However, most of my art just comes directly from my imagination. That's where all my characters and designs come from. As you can see, I love using vibrant colors, because I think it makes all my art really eye-catching and interesting. But my art wasn't always like this. A lot of my more recent work from the past year was greatly affected by the quarantine. I found myself stuck inside with little inspiration around me, which I think helped evolve my art style because I was forced to inspire myself and I ended up creating a lot of abstract and colorful pieces. Now I consider abstract design to be my main style of art.
Alright, let's do this one more time. My name is Marcus W. Hall. About half a semester ago, I was hit in the head with a radioactive pencil, and with that, I gained the ability to produce 15 semi-decent art pieces. And with the help of my friends, family, pets, internet, and all sorts of other wacky things you see during the year, well, that kind of pushed me to do graphic design in my future. My art will be simple, no hidden meaning, and completely doable by anybody, but they can't because they're not me.
Jen Elliott, and I will be attending UWM in fall for art education. My mom's sister is a good artist, and she definitely had a part in influencing me when I was younger. This series is about not being in control. I use dictionary pages, gesso, watercolor, charcoal, and Sharpie. Art will play a big role in my future because it is one of my hobbies, and I plan to have art in my career.
Hi, I'm Sophia Craigville, and I'm a senior at Tosa East this year. And I'm going to be a freshman at UW-Madison next semester. I created my portfolio about the experience of the COVID-19 outbreak. So there was a wide array of topics underneath that, such as essential workers, but also interpersonal relationships and individual feelings, and how that could be shown through light distortion of images and using different lighting techniques to show how strange it was to experience these things. Later pieces, I used color a lot more to try and achieve a similar effect. This piece, for example, is about those viral videos of people hugging their loved ones through plastic sheets. And I use a much softer color palette. I use complementary colors a lot in the rest of the portfolio. Piece is a commentary on workers' wages. This piece I started based on color blocking the highlights. That's my portfolio.
Hello, my name is Dominic Lucarelli, and I am a member of the AP Art Studio class here at Walter East, and I specialize in 3D art, animation, and character design.
What you're looking at now is a speed paint or speed model of one of my models that I made, just to kind of show you the process of how everything I make. All of this is mostly done in Blender, but I use some other programs for texturing and stuff. But less about that kind of stuff and more about my art.
Hello everyone, my name is Alina Blachowski, and I have decided to go to Missouri Valley College for graphic design and lacrosse. Some of my early influences for my art are lots of comic books and also manga. I think the biggest three are Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Marvel, and then Attack on Titan. My series of work is about struggles that female athletes have to face, whether they be directly within the sport or outside of the sport. Some examples for within the sport is like feeling that you're not good enough to play, or feeling like you're so outcasted from a team that you don't want to play anymore. And for outside, feeling like you don't have enough time to get things done for school or work, or even to just hang out with your friends. My plan for the future is to be a graphic designer, and with that I can use my artistic abilities and creativity. Thank you so much for taking an interest in my artwork.
Hi, this is Grace Ryan. I'm a senior at East, and this is part of my AP portfolio.
This fall, I'll be attending Montana State University in Bozeman, Montana. The first 13 pieces that you see are from my AP portfolio, and they're about the life of a tall woman. Most were quick pieces in reference to different stigmas or sayings that I've had to deal with. An influence for my art, I'd say, is simply my family, because my mom, my aunt, and my uncle are all in the art field, and I've always looked up to them. In the future, I see myself in the art field, and as of yet, I'm going to school for graphic design and business, but I also have a great interest in baking. Right now, I have a small business where I make and sell earrings, and have recently been a part of the Brookfield Farmers Market. And I will be there again on July 17th, so that's another way for me to branch out and do something that I love.
This is my art portfolio. My portfolio is based off of dreams. I got this idea in my painting class where we were assigned an abstract realistic project, I absolutely fell in love with this style of painting. It's a creative way for me to tell a story but leave room for each viewer to create their own. I based that painting off of a dream I had because I found while creating my surface that abstract realism style reminds me of what I see in my dreams. Sometimes a story that you can only remember bits and pieces of, and you have to fill in the rest with how it looked and felt. Over a year later, and I'm still obsessed with this idea. I value my usage of colors in my paintings. It's important to me to use color to portray different moods and feelings in each piece. A huge part of my process is creating a surface that feels full and finished by adding and subtracting. It can be very hard to cover up my painting because even though I might really like what it looks like, it may not fit or be complete. It's a frustrating, scary, and however fun process, and I'm very happy and proud with how all of these turned out.
Are you guys ready to see some action?
Hi, I'm Olive, and this is me, 3 days to my portfolio deadline, about to hysterically destroy my artwork. Here's everything that happened leading up to this moment. In my lifetime working with art, I've learned so much about expression and what influences our response to the world around us. As we live the human experience, we are subject to an abundance of different emotions, revolving around the events that shape us. It's what creates a gap between mental and physical age, and it's why we walk through life every day yearning for what will make us happier. This is what gives me motivation to create. To see what this process results in, you can see some of my work at Olive Fuchs Art Stuff on Instagram. Here you can find the product of getting messy and taking risks like the one you're about to see me take 3 days before my deadline. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope it gave you a little bit of insight on my portfolio.
Hello, I am Paul Lindra, and I'm going to UW out of this fall. What are my early influences? My early influence is probably deep-seated childhood trauma and the gnawing anxiety that I felt from that. And, if you count, like 4 months ago, a series of work that you were looking at is about how much better I am than you. Wait, no. I mean, coming to terms with how hopelessly crushing the daily grind can be. Man, relatable. How will art play a role in my future? Well, art will be playing a huge role in my future because I'm either going to be hopelessly poor and dependent on my husband's backyard coal mining operation, or I'll just be selling myself like a sticker. Also, if you want to find my work, I currently only have a dinky YouTube channel called ShrimpFan986. There's an underscore in there. This has been my video.
Hello, I am Nick Clark, and welcome to my 2021 AP Art Portfolio. Here it is. What you guys are seeing are some images that I recreated with some markers. Each line was made and drawn by me, and it takes about 2 or 3 hours for each one. I really like how these came out. Pretty much the process is I start from light to dark with their facial values and just what's around them. Each person I chose for a different reason, and overall I love how it came out, and I probably will continue to do this. Up next, we have some images that I edited on Photoshop, and I love how these also came out. And then some pictures that I made in my sketchbook. A little abstract too, but yeah, thank you.
The thing that I know about myself is that I know almost nothing about myself. For some reason, I can't really categorize anything about myself, and I basically live life going with the flow. I feel like I'm actually just going through the motions of everyday life, not really doing anything that I actually want to do. The second thing is that I like to make art. I like making art that might make you feel different about yourself, or make you think differently about the world around you. Sometimes the art I make connects with what I see, and I think I took that direction this year. There are a lot of signs you miss out on life, and sometimes it feels like you have no other choice but to just go with the flow. Sometimes it feels like the signs are the only thing telling you which way to go, not really understanding when or why you go the way that you do, but you just do it. I wanted my art to symbolize the feelings of an unknown world, with the signs still trying to show you the way out of it. Thank you.
We'll spend this life together, dear.